Holy shit, is that the Bois Incorporated Podcast, episode 39? Yeah, it is. I've got Nate.
That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly. I've got Nate here with me. So yeah, it's been a while since the last episode. It's been, I think, approximately 2 months. My dog just decided to start barking right as I click record, so that's sick. Hopefully I'll be able to edit him out.
Yeah.
But it's been a while. I've had a lot of shit going on, so sorry about that. I've had a vacation and shit, and then it's so fucking tough to try to record in the summer because everyone's doing shit, and it's so hot. Like, just next to my computer, I'm working on building another one right now that'll hopefully run a lot cooler, or I can put it further away from me or something. I don't know. But yeah, let's just fucking get into it, I guess. So nice. I'll just go ahead and do the fucking summer vacation wrap up because I have a few interesting stories from vacation. So the first matter of business is, if you work for British Airways or American Airways, you can eat every inch of my ass. British Airways sucks so hard, dude. I fucking hate British Airways. All my homies hate British Airways. Unless...
I've still never been on a plane.
Unless your name is Lauren. I think it was Lauren. There was exactly one British Airways employee that didn't completely fuck us that whole vacation. And I think her name was Lauren. I forget. I think it was Lauren. So we were planning on going to Scotland, and the plan was we were going to leave on Thursday. We were going to fly. We're going to basically drive to JFK Airport in New York. We're going to fly to Heathrow Airport, which is in London. And then we were going to get a connecting flight. We're going to basically get a layover from that airport to Glasgow Airport. And then we would drive like an hour, maybe, not even, from Glasgow to Ayr, which is on the west coast of Scotland. That was the plan. So we get all our shit packed. We drive on down to JFK Airport. We drive through the New York traffic. That shit sucks. We get there on time. This is like the first time in my life that I'll remember being on a plane, because I've been on a plane a few times, but it was when I was like really fucking young, so I didn't remember it. I just knew I'd flown before.
Right.
So we get there, we do all our shit, we check our bags, we pull up to the terminal, we get some food, we're ready to fucking go, we're just waiting, sitting, and we can see out the window our plane that's getting boarded up. Like, we can see all of the fucking suitcases being put on the plane. I'm like, all right, sick. So it's around 15 minutes before the flight is going to leave, and then the little screen that tells you when your flight leaves says it's been delayed by 15 minutes. And we go, okay, not a big deal. It goes from leaving at like 10:30 to like 10:45, and we're like, all right, not a big deal. And then like 10:40, we're like, all right, 5 minutes until we get on the plane. Let's fucking do this shit. And then they delay it at 15 minutes again. And we're like, that's strange. Okay, all right, still not a big deal. It's leaving at 11. Okay. We'll be like 30 minutes late, but whatever. It's going to be like an 8-hour flight and then another 1-hour flight. So what's 30 minutes, right? Who cares? Another 15-minute delay. Now we're leaving at 11:15. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. It gets up to like 11:14, and we're like, all right, this time it hasn't been delayed. So like, now we're getting on the plane for real. And then it hits 11:15, and then the flight is fucking canceled. It just says, sorry, your flight has been canceled. We were in the airport. All of our bags were on the plane, and we were looking at the plane they were going to take. Like, what the fuck? They say one of the flight staff just didn't show up. It wasn't like bad weather. It was like one of the fucking co-pilots he just did not pull up that day. So we're like, what the fuck? So then they're like, okay, either get in this line to the help desk or call this number if you want to get your shit sorted. So a bunch of people get in line, which is the wrong call, by the way. You don't get in that line. That line takes way too fucking long. You jump on the hotline, which is what my mom did. My mom just like immediately called the hotline, like, what the fuck? So she's sitting there talking to the American Airlines / British Airlines person that's like, yeah, so your flight's been canceled. I'll try to book you a new one, I guess. And she's looking for availability, and then me, my dad, and my brother all go down and just look for the bags and we start making friends in the fucking terminal because there's no bags, and we see all the people that were going to be on our flight also just waiting for their bags, and we start like coming up with plans and shit so we can see the most amount of the room, and like rumors start spreading about when our shit will come back.
Right.
It's fucking ridiculous. So we end up waiting there for like 2 to 3 hours for our fucking bags. Like, it takes forever. Like, we're there just fucking way too long for them to get all of the bags off of the plane so we can drive home. So my mom on the phone gets another flight booked. What's up?
I didn't realize this was after.
Yeah.
I thought this was all like trying to get on.
This was,
You're waiting for the bags, yeah, of course.
Yeah. We're waiting for the bags to then drive home when we were supposed to get on a flight and leave for like a week and a half. So then she gets another flight booked, but apparently they are all booked out the ass. So the next flight is on Saturday in the stupid early part of the morning, and it's not at JFK Airport, it's at Newark Airport in New Jersey, which is actually closer, so that's actually not a problem for us. That's actually better, because honestly, getting to JFK again would have been a fucking nightmare again, because it's New York traffic.
Existing in Newark?
Yeah, well, listen, it's not preferable, but, you know, you work with what you have, okay?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, listen, what airport near here would be nice? You go to fucking JFK or Newark or Philly Airport? I mean...
I've only been to one airport my entire life.
Listen,
and I didn't even get on the plane. I was there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the choices aren't great. Like, they're fine, I guess, but you could certainly do better. But they go, yeah, we have that flight from Newark to Heathrow, but there are 0 flights from Heathrow to Glasgow. There are none. Like, they're all full or there aren't any. And we go, fuck. But wait a minute, like, that's still in Britain, though, so... Fuck it, new plan. We'll fly to Heathrow Airport on that Saturday, arrive in London, rent a car there, and then drive another 8 hours all the way through England up into Scotland and arrive at Ayr. Which would normally have been a 1-hour flight. It's going to be an 8-hour drive after an 8-hour flight. There we go. Fuck it. All right, we'll make it work. Whatever. So we drive back. We have to go get our car from long-term parking in JFK Airport, even though we were only parked there for fucking 5 hours because we thought we'd be there for a week. So we drive back Friday, and we get back like so fucking late at night / early in the morning. We get back at like 4 a.m. or some shit. Hardly sleep. Wake up Friday. That was super weird because like we were just sort of in the holding pattern. Like nothing's really going on, but we know a bunch of shit is going to have to happen tomorrow. So just fucking sleep most of that day away. Wake up like very early Saturday night, right? Like we wake up at like 4 a.m. Saturday morning. Drive to New Jersey, get there by the time the sun is coming up, park our car, and the Newark airport, the long-term parking is far enough away from the terminal that you have to get on a bus, and then the bus will drive you to the terminal. So we get there, all right, fine, we're good, fucking whatever. Get on the plane, check our bags, do all that shit, and this was not very eventful. This was fine. This flight was, like, tolerable. It's like, all right, fine. We fly over, we land in Heathrow after 8 hours. Get off the plane. It's like dark because London is 5 hours ahead of US Eastern time. So we basically lose all of Saturday just flying. We basically lose all of Saturday just flying because it's an 8-hour flight. So even though we leave at 7, like, or I don't remember exactly when we left. We left like in the morning. We fly for 8 hours and add on 5 hours to that because you move 5 hours ahead in time zone. So we leave Saturday morning and we arrive in England Saturday night. So we get there, rent our fucking car, and that's already ridiculous because it's a manual, but all the cars in Europe aren't very powerful, so it doesn't make any sense for it to be a manual. And everything's on the left side of the road. And we're about to drive 8 hours.
Right.
We're about to drive 8 hours like that. Fucking all the way up through basically all of England, because London is like not north in England. It's like fairly south, I think. So all the way up through England, all the way up into Scotland, into Ayr, which is like, it's not too far north in Scotland. Like there's a lot. It's like, I guess, sort of middle of the road. So we're driving up, and I learned this the hard way. Don't get like fast food in London or in England or Britain or wherever, because it's bad. Like it's really fucking bad. That was like what amazed me is in America, our sense of like fast food is completely skewed. Like the fast food that we think is bad because it's like it's unhealthy for you, but it tastes good.
Right.
Like
yeah.
England fucks both of those things up. So we're like leaving London, and that's already fucking hilarious because they have all these weird rules that just don't make any, like there's a bunch of taxis that we wanted to get into to take us to the rental car place, but they made up some sort of contrived reason why we couldn't take them, so we just fucking walked to like a shuttle bus and took that. So we're about to leave London, and we go, hold on, let's stop and get some food. There's like this like pit stop along the way that has a bunch of different restaurants in it, so let's go in there. All right, bet. We go in, there's like a McDonald's, there's a KFC, and there's like a convenience store. And we go, all right, well, I don't really want to get KFC, so let's just get McDonald's. It's easy, fucking whatever. Because we expected it to be like an American McDonald's, where it's like, you know exactly what you're getting. It's not going to be good, but like it's serviceable, and it's everywhere, and it's like really cheap. So we go in, and they have these weird like pylon kiosk things with computer screens that you put your order in. Like you don't talk to anyone to order, you just do it on a computer. So we all order, and we're just waiting for our shit, and they have like this giant plexiglass thing on the counter. I think it's like a COVID thing that basically separates like you from the employees, but they have just a little slot that they can like push the bags of food through. And some guy starts walking up to it, and this guy is dressed in this ridiculous giant puffer coat thing, and he's fighting with the manager. Like I didn't catch what they were fighting over, but they're in this heated argument. He's arguing with the guy behind the counter at McDonald's, and he's just yelling belligerently. But British people don't sound tough. Like, sorry, Britain, you don't. Like, they just don't. It's hard to sound intimidating with an English accent, because we're still like in the heart of London. Like we're still, so it's very thick British accent, and this guy is yelling, and he's yelling at the manager, and he's saying, "There's no need to be rude, bruv." Like he's yelling that, and okay, listen, I like to think that I have a pretty good poker face. Like I like to think that if something hilarious is happening, I'm good at not immediately like blowing it. This, I completely dropped the ball. I was audibly like laughing. I nearly pointed at him. I nearly pointed and laughed. Like I was laughing out loud. Like I was laughing loud enough that my dad and my brother were like, "Yo, stop!" Like, "Yo, shut the fuck up. He's gonna hear you." I was like, "Oh shit, okay, my bad." So it was a very fucking surreal experience to drive, like to fly 8 hours just to see, oh, this is what London is like. It's some guy saying, "Don't be rude, bruv," to the McDonald's guy for some fucking reason. We get the McDonald's. It sucks. The food tasted terrible. There was like no seasoning on it because, you know, England. They don't really season their food there. So we drive fucking...
I don't, like...
What's up?
How do they even deal with that, though? Like...
Well, so
because, of course, the second you said, like, you know, it's different fast food, of course my brain immediately went to, well, yeah, because British people are known for fucking not eating anything that isn't white or, like, tasteless or...
Yeah.
So, like, what the fuck? How do you live your life like that, man? Like, well, just total existential question. Like,
yeah,
how do you live a life of zero?
Well, that's the interesting thing, right? Is I think it's in the same way that people that come from, like, other countries, like, how they have very high spice tolerance, it's just the same thing, but just, like, opposite, right? It's, you know, people that have, like, you know, like, there are countries where people grow up eating food that is so spicy that they just like don't even notice it anymore, right? Like my girlfriend is like that. Both her parents are Korean, and Korea has some pretty spicy food. So like anytime my parents make food for me and my girlfriend or whatever, they'll be like, "Yo, careful, that's spicy," and she'll be like, "It's not." She'll be like, "It definitely is not spicy." She's like, "I can't even taste spice. Like there's flavor here, but there's no spice on it." And it's like, well, because she's just been raised eating so much spicy food that like, by the American standards, American spicy just does not hit her at all. Like you have to do like Korean spicy. Yeah.
But my friend here at school is from India, and
India,
we'll go
same
out to
thing.
Indian restaurants a lot. Yeah, it's his spice tolerance is insane. We'll go to Indian restaurants, and he likes to do this thing where like he'll make fun of me because at any Indian restaurant when you order a dish they'll ask you like how spicy do you want it?
Yeah.
Right, and he'll always go like just all the way up. And I usually order medium. And he's like, "Are you sure you can handle medium?" I'm like, "Yeah, I usually order medium when I go to like Indian restaurants and stuff." So he's like, "Okay." And he saw me eat the medium a few times when we went out. Then this one time we go out to this place, and he goes, "All right, Nate, I went here once before, and I'm telling you, it's really spicy, like more spicy than you're used to, like just their default is." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm still probably gonna get what I usually get." So the waiter comes over, and the two of us order, and he asks like, what's your spice level? And he's like, he goes a little more than your medium. I'm like, oh shit, he's dialing it back.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well he still got more than medium. I can still handle medium. So I'm like, all right, medium. And as the waiter's walking away, Arnav goes, whoa, wait, hold on. He gives me like the what the fuck are you doing look, and then he looks at the waiter and he points to me, and he just goes, white guy medium.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's true. Like, like, as much as it's like, oh, fucking, I mean, listen, bro. It is true, though. Like,
yeah,
European countries don't really do spicy food like that. But, like, I mean, that's exactly how people in Britain deal with it, is it's like, well, they've just grown up, not eating spicy shit at all. Like, the spiciest shit there is, like, authentic foreign food. Like, if you go to an Indian place or, like, a Chinese place or whatever there, like, you can get some spicy food, but, like, anywhere else, not really. So...
It's weird.
Yeah, which is, like, here's the thing. Some of the food there is fucking great. It's just not the fast food. Don't do fast food. It sucks. It's, like, they're trying to imitate, like, the American shit, but they're not good at it. Like, McDonald's in Britain is god-awful. Like, it makes American McDonald's look good.
Is it the same menu items, though? Is it, like...
Basically? Like, it's like, mostly the same, I think. I think there was some shit that was different, but, like, not much. I can't remember. I'm so pissed that I don't remember, because I didn't look intently enough at their menu to see if they still called it a quarter pounder, even though they don't use pounds, they use kilograms. I don't remember if they called it that. It was weird to see, because that country mixes metric and imperial a lot more than I think they'd like to admit. Like, they get to be snobby about, like, having the metric system, but, like, a ton of their road signs are in miles, not kilometers. In fact, like, weird. the car we rented from London, it defaulted to telling us directions in miles. It's like, I would have expected it would be kilometers and there was, like, a setting you could change, but it came default like that. I was like, that's fucking weird. So, we drive 8 hours all the way from England to fucking Ayr, Scotland. And I noticed something interesting, which is it never got dark. Like, it never gets very dark there, even at night. Like, because we drove through the night, because we got there Saturday night and arrived in Scotland Sunday morning. It never got dark. It would get, like, dusk at, like, 2 a.m., and then remain that dusk for, like, maybe 2 to 3 hours, and then the sun would just come back up. Like, it never really got to, like, the dead of night. Like, it was super strange. Like, that was very weird. It was like, oh, I mean, I guess because, you know, we're going super far north in terms of like the world's fucking latitude. Like, you know, we're not going super far north in Scotland, but like compared to the United States, like they're much further north than us. So it was like, oh, that's interesting because it just never gets dark. So we get to my grandma's house in Ayr. And at this point, we were supposed to have gotten there like Friday night, but now it's Sunday morning and we're finally here. So we've already lost like 2 days, like 2 full days of trip. And in order to make the most of it, what we decided to do is we're not gonna miss the Sunday. So we get there very early on Sunday. We get there like maybe 7 a.m. on Sunday. And we decide, fuck it, let's just sleep for a few hours. Let's just have a quick little fucking power nap and then wake up and then do shit today. So we slept like maybe 5 or 6 hours and then woke up to go places, like to go drive and do shit. And I was like, oh my fucking God, I'm not ready to do this. Like, I think I legitimately think I had like a very tiny emotional breakdown when I was there, because I was like, I woke up like 5-6 hours later and like got dressed and got ready to leave, and we were just like getting ready to go, and I was sitting there just thinking about how much that sucks, like just how terrible that feeling was of like I hadn't properly like slept since like Wednesday night, and then I finally got here and there was a bed and I only got 6 hours and now I need to get up and leave. I was so pissed. Like I wasn't like that sad about it, because it was like, you know, fucking what can you do about it? Like, you know, just make the best of it. But like I was legitimately like tearing up. I was like so fucking just broken. It was a surreal experience.
Just about waking up.
Just about like so little sleep, because I didn't sleep on the plane. I didn't really sleep much during the car ride. I hadn't slept much the night before we got on the plane. It was like 3 days straight of just like no sleep and doing shit and like hurrying to places and fucking and like just, oh my God, it was a fucking nightmare. And then I forgot to actually mention what happened in New Jersey when we were going to the flight, which is actually the worst part of like the whole trip. I couldn't remember if this was happening on when we were going or when we were coming back. This is before we'd left. I'm gonna have to rewind a little bit. So we get to Newark Airport. We pull up to the place. We're like, all right, let's fucking do our thing. Let's go check in, check our bags, and we're at the desk. And we were there because my mom on the phone had talked to the American/British Airways person and gone, okay, yeah, you have seats on this flight. Go there for this time. They'll get you sorted out. Okay, great. We're at the desk and we're like, we'd like to check our bags, please. And they're like, okay, sick. Where are your boarding passes? And we go, we don't have any. The person on the phone said that you could print some for us. And they go, okay, cool. Well, what seats are you guys in? What's this? So we give them all the information and they go, yeah, so your names are attached to the seats on the plane, but you don't have like a boarding pass. Like you don't have, like, your names are attached to the seats, but you don't have a boarding pass. Like, you've reserved the seats, but you don't have the boarding pass to get onto the seats. And it's like, what the fuck kind of retarded system is this? Like, how does that work? So we're supposed to leave at a certain time. I think it was like 8 or something. I don't remember when, but the person behind the desk is doing absolutely nothing to help. Like, he's just sitting there typing on his computer, trying to look busy, while we are quickly running out of time to get onto our plane. Then we're like, well, listen, can you like go get a manager or something that can actually help? And he's like, yeah. So then he comes and gets his manager, and she's equally not helpful. And I'm like, well, can you get someone? And she goes, ugh, I guess. So then she goes and like gets the person above her. Oh no, you know what it was? Her name was Kelly. I think her name was Kelly. That's who it was. And she was actually super fucking helpful. She was like, all right, well here,
Okay.
I'll call them as soon as as soon as our boarding pass people, like as soon as the number I have to call opens, I call them. So she calls them up and gets that shit sorted out and gets us boarding passes with like an incredibly low amount of time left because both of her fucking underlings have completely fucked us by doing nothing for the past 45 minutes. We're standing at that desk for like 45 minutes to an hour, and that's time that we were going to use to just sit and wait for the plane, but the plane is already fucking like boarding the first class people. So she goes, okay, sick, you have your boarding passes, here, go. Like, go now. Like, you have no fucking time. So, like, we just, like, grabbed our bags and just, like, ran to TSA. Like, we were running through the terminal to get to TSA. And we got through TSA in, like, record time. Like, we just threw our shit in the bins. Like, it was like we were doing a speed run to get through everything. It was just, like, it was ridiculous. It was fucking nonsense. Like, the TSA are already very aggressive and fast, but I think we out-aggressive and fasted them. Like, we were more aggressive and quicker. It was fucking ridiculous. So it was after that whole fucking ordeal. Like, we got to the terminal where they were boarding us, and they, like, there were people there that were like, holy shit, you made it. Like, people that were just next to us doing their boarding pass shit that left like 30 minutes before we did. They went, we didn't think you would make it. They're like, yeah, wow, okay. Like, other passengers on the plane were like, we were like convinced you were not getting on this plane. So it was after all that we finally get to Scotland and do all that shit. And then we go check out some stuff, and it was pretty cool. I got to see the Carrick Hills, which is what I'm named after. So I got to see that. We got to see Denora, where there's a castle. That was pretty cool. And then we had to go and fucking drive like the next day, because that whole week, basically my mom has some friends there who, I'm not going to use their real names because like I don't want to dox them, but like shout out to them. They were really fucking cool. They have a flat that they own in Edinburgh that they let us just borrow for the week because they usually rent it out to people. But they're like, fuck it, you know, if you guys are coming over, like you can borrow our shit. So then we drove from Ayr all the way to Edinburgh, which, I mean, that doesn't mean anything to people that don't know the layout, but like it's basically driving from the west coast nearly all the way to the east coast. It's like you're basically driving nearly the width of the whole country. So that's like, I think, a 4-hour drive, because Scotland isn't that wide, but it's like a 4-hour drive or something. So we get to Edinburgh, spend the week there. That was really fucking cool. And that was where I found out that like you can actually have food in Britain that isn't complete garbage. Because like Edinburgh was cool,
Nice.
and there were, because one of my mom's friends that let us borrow the flat was like, yo, these are the places to go to. And like they were pretty fucking nice. There was this one place called the King's Wharf. Right? Was it the King's Wharf or the King's Wharf? Where it was like really fucking good. And it was nice because I could actually order alcohol there because I was 20. Like at the time, like I'm going to turn 21 in like 2 months. So I can't do it here yet. But I could do it there because legal drinking age there is 18. So I got to go get fucked up, which was nice. That definitely helped with the whole,
That
like,
is nice.
with the whole everything being fucked up thing. That definitely helped. So then, we got to spend a night with the friends over at their house. That was cool. And then we basically came back to Ayr, did some more shit, and then left. So no more interesting details there, except the flight back was also terrible and shitty because we got to the airport. We get to Glasgow Airport because we have basically what we were supposed to do, but in reverse, where we fly from Glasgow to Heathrow, then to Newark, and then just drive back. We get to Glasgow, and Glasgow Airport is on their shit. Like, they know what they're doing. We got there, no problems boarding the plane. We get on, nothing wrong at all. We fly from Glasgow to Heathrow, and the pilot actually saved time. He was like, it's supposed to be an hour and a half flight. We got there in an hour. He was like, yeah, I actually shaved 30 minutes off. It's like, fuck yeah, finally, some good luck. Awesome. And then we immediately get hit with bad luck because we land in Heathrow and then we have a layover in like 2 to 3 hours. We get there, and then that flight starts getting delayed again. So the flight from Heathrow back to Newark gets delayed like 4 or 5 fucking times, and then we finally get on it, and it's super fucking uncomfortable. And we're in that one like aisle fucking like we don't have aisle seats. We have like the big column of 4 seats in the middle. It was fucking terrible. The thing was way too hot for some reason, like ridiculous. But then we finally got back, and it was like, thank fuck that's over. Like it was fun, but like fuck. What a nightmare to go anywhere right now with British Airlines. That's why I said British Airlines can eat every inch of my ass, is because they did that. Ridiculous. So that was like the first chunk of like summer vacation that I got. And then the second was more recent. It was a lot less stressful, I guess. It wasn't like as interesting, I don't think, because it went way more to plan. But like it didn't last as long either, which was kind of disappointing. Basically, my dad and my brother both ride motorcycles, and we had gone to New Hampshire before, like a long time ago on a road trip, and it was awesome. And we decided, like, hey, let's go back, but this time my dad and my brother can ride their motorcycles up there, and we can get some of our friends who also ride motorcycles, and we can go with them. So then we decide, yeah, let's fucking do that. So that was, I think, late July we started doing that. So we picked out a weekend, and we said, all right, we're all going to drive. We have 5 people on motorcycles, but there's only 4 bikes because one bike had 2 people on it. And then our van that is going to carry just everyone else who's not on a bike. And then that trip was really cool just because I got to bring my girlfriend with me because it wasn't international or anything. Like, I couldn't bring her to Scotland because it was like she didn't have a passport. Right. But this was like, oh, it's just a car ride? Fuck yeah, let's do it. So we got to see some really fucking cool shit up in New Hampshire. There's this one place that if you go to New Hampshire, you have to go to. It's called, I think when we were there the first time, it was called Clark's Trading Post. But now I think it's called like Clark's Bears. It's basically this bear show that they do. Like they have these trained bears that do tricks and shit. And it's fucking awesome. Like, you just pay to go in, and they have like this giant cage with like arena seating around it. And there's this guy that will be like, yo, check out this bear. He's pretty cool. He does tricks for ice cream. And then he'll show you all of the tricks that he does while just feeding it ice cream like from a fucking cone. So he's like, yeah, I bet you've never seen a bear ride a skateboard before. Check this shit out. And then the bear just gets on a skateboard and starts doing circles around the cage.
The fuck? How big is the skateboard?
I mean, it's like human size. It's like the same size that like you could ride it. Yeah, it's like what's up?
How big is the bear?
I mean, it's not a grizzly bear, but it's a black bear. It's like, I mean, it's big. Your mic sort of cut out. What's that?
Oh, fuck.
I can hear you. You're fine. You just
I'm having trouble wrapping my head around the bear on the skateboard. That's all.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's interesting. I'll see if I can find video and send it to you later. But I mean, yeah, it's a bear standing on its back legs, and it has one foot on the skateboard, and the other foot is like pushing. And it goes around in a circle around this giant cage, like this giant fucking, like, Thunderdome looking thing. And then the guy just hands it, like, an ice cream cone after. And it does all kinds of tricks. Like, it'll sit on this swing, or, like, it has this thing where it, like, will walk on its back legs and, like, wave at the audience with one of its front paws. At one point, they give it, like, a Razor scooter, too. Like, they let him ride one of those, too, but I thought the skateboard was cooler. But, I mean, both of them were really funny. Like... And then there was one that one of the people in our group really fucking got a kick out of, where he just handed it like this fucking handbag, like this purse thing. And he's like, I bet you've never seen a bear with a purse before. Check this out. And it's just like walking around on its back legs with a fucking purse around its waist. It was just really funny. I mean, it is so worth going to if you're in the area. Like, the place is fucking awesome. it is funny because like they're very aware that like if you hear like, yeah, it's a trained bear that does tricks, like immediately you think like, wait a minute, hold on, how, like, are they treating the bears well? Like they do so much to prove to you that they're treating the bears like humanely. It's crazy. They're like, yeah, I mean, here's, you can literally see the living conditions we keep them in, and also that, you know, it's way better for them here than it is out in the wild. Like out in the wild they only live like 10 years or something, but like some of their oldest bears have lived to be like late 30s.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's like we're giving them like 25 extra years of life on average, and it's like, oh, okay, all right, that's cool. And then what? Their life is just they ride skateboards and eat ice cream. That sounds sick as fuck. Like that sounds awesome. So that was fucking cool. We ended up, yeah, we decided to drive up Mount Washington, which is a terrifying fucking drive because it's just like a fucking somewhat like dirt road at some parts, and it's all the way up this giant mountain. It's like the width of like maybe a car or two, like maybe 1.5 cars, like width wise, and there's no guardrail, and you're driving up a mountain, so it's just a sheer drop off the side. Like you look out your window and you can just see like a whole ass mountain range. And if you steer too wide around a turn, you'll just drop like 50 feet.
That's it. Done so.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're just fucked. Like you're just dead. So it was funny because we decided my mom would drive up in the van, my dad and my brother, and then one of the guys that we were going there with on the bikes would go up. But basically we had 2 uncles that were going with us on bikes, and one was going with us in the car. Well, one of them, like, he had just bought a new bike and it was like massive, right? Like it was a huge ass bike. It was like probably 700 something pounds of motorcycle, and he was not used to driving it at all. He found out like, yeah, there's no fucking guardrail or anything. Like if you fly off the side, you're just dead. And he was like, yeah, I'm just not going up. It's cool. We'll just chill at the bottom. Like we'll just go do something else. And I was like, okay. So the 3 guys on bikes and then everyone in the van decided to drive up. And it was funny because I would fuck with them a little bit because I wasn't the one driving. We had these things that we brought in the car and were attached to all the bikers' helmets. That basically it's like this Bluetooth mesh thing that allows you to talk to each other even though you're not all in the same vehicle, which was nice. Like that's the only way the trip really logistically could have worked. So I had a little microphone thing that I could talk to them through, and their audio would come through the car's speakers. So we could all have conversations and shit. Well, there's this thing that my brother likes to do when he rides his bike. It's called carving. Where basically, because the bike is very narrow as far as like the whole lane of the street is concerned. So basically you just like coast back and forth in like a serpentine, like S kind of shape as you go forward. And it's just like a way to just have some fun while you're riding in a straight line. Like if riding in a straight line is getting a little monotonous, you can kind of just carve and start doing this S shape up the street. Well, my mom, who's driving like right behind him, like she can see him going up the mountain, and she was like terrified the whole time up, like the whole time up and down the mountain. She's terrified that he's gonna just fall and die. And he's going up really slow. Obviously, we're all being very cautious because it's really more just about making it. It's not about doing anything cool. Well, we're going up, and I get on the mic, and I just go, so, is there any reason in particular you decided to stop carving as soon as we got to the mountain, or is that just because? And he was like, fuck you, and then he started carving going up the mountain. He started just like zigzagging in the straight line up this fucking road, and my mom was like, stop that right now, knock that shit off immediately. And he was like, all right. Like, my mom was freaking the fuck out. He was like, all right, stop. So then we get to the top, get some pictures, come down. It was fun. It was a lot of fun that trip. It just didn't last very long, but it was cool. It was really fucking cool. So that's I guess vacation roundup. If there's any funny stories that come to me, I'll tell them. But we can move on. So I've talked way too long about my shit. I feel like there's some current event shit that we should talk about just to catch up.
All right.
So check this out. Dude, this story is providing me so much entertainment, and it sounds callous to say that, but honestly, like, it's just funny. Have you seen any of the Brittany Griner shit?
No.
Okay. There
Who is
is Brittany Griner. I think that's her name. All right.
I have no idea who that is.
All right. So this is all right. Well, I mean, yeah, obviously you don't know who it is. She's a WNBA player.
Oh, okay, yeah, no.
So listen, I didn't know who she was until this story came out either. So it's not like, how can you not know who Brittany Griner was? No one knew who she
that
was.
Is.
Yeah, now you know?
No,
okay.
This is the one. Who was the one who got arrested, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, so she goes to Russia and gets arrested for some amount of having drugs with her. And they sentence her to 9 years in Russian prison, which I'll just call a gulag. Like, let's be honest, it's a gulag. They send her to the gulag for 9 fucking years for drug possession. And
that's insane.
The details of this story just keep getting funnier. Not like just because of how hard it is to figure out what the fuck is going on. So like some sources say one thing and some say another. I think it was something WNBA related. Like I think I don't fucking remember. I don't know. But like I think it was something basketball related. Like I think she was there to play basketball or something. So the problem is everywhere I look, it gives me a different story, and they're complete opposites. So like one side says she was there with a massive amount of weed with definite intent to distribute to her friends, and the others say she accidentally had one THC cartridge in her suitcase that she forgot about. Like, there is no in between. Like, some sources are like, she had, like, basically a fucking molecule of weed and they threw her in for 9 years. And others say she's, like, fucking El Chapo crossing the border. Like, there is no consistency at all. Like, I'm blown away. I cannot find how much she actually had because every source has, like, a different amount. Where they're like, yeah, she was definitely just a drug dealer because the WNBA doesn't pay enough, and they try to make it about that. And then there are others where it's like, she was just innocently thrown in jail for having, like, basically no weed, like she had one cartridge for her vape. And it's like, I'm just glad that as a society, we've now evolved to the point where we can't even agree on the basic facts of any story. Like, how much did she have? Like, just tell me how much weed she had. Like, I don't...
Singular number.
Yeah, like, how much? Like, was it a lot? Was it a little? Like, how much was it?
People have a general of that.
Can you repeat that?
If you do it in grams, I mean, people know what you're talking about. They have a general concept of weight in grams or mass in grams or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
like,
and
you
it's
could
like...
do it in one number.
Yeah, and it's
settle
like...
on one fucking...
Well, and that's the confusing part, is some will say an amount. They'll say, like, an amount in grams. They'll be like, she had this amount. But then other ones will completely disagree and be like, she had way more than that. It's like, what the fuck? So it's like anywhere between, like, half a gram and, like, 50. And it's like, what? What the fuck? Like, what the fuck is going on? This is ridiculous. And then the other half of the story that I find really funny, the first half being that no one can agree on how much weed she had. The second part that I think is funny is how we are now looking down the worst sports trade in history because of this. We're about to trade a guy called the fucking Merchant of Death back to Russia so we can get Brittany Griner back. So
wait. If we give them an athlete,
no, we're not giving them an athlete.
Actual trade or like a trade of prison? Oh,
we're doing a trade of prisoners. We're trading for a WNBA player. It's like, you know that have you seen the trade offer meme where it's like that? It's Brit Easy on TikTok. It's a guy with the crazy long face.
Yeah,
and it's like, I receive, you receive. Yeah,
he kind of looks like Adam Driver.
Yeah, we receive, as the United States, we receive a WNBA player that no one knew about until this story dropped. Russia receives a notorious arms dealer called the Merchant of Death.
Jesus Christ.
So, I mean, all in all, I'd say that's a fair trade, honestly. Like, I think that's worth. It's so funny to me that, like, I heard that, I was like, no, that's satire though, right? Like that can't be real. Like that's like what you would say as like a joke, is like, we're trading her for like some horrible fucked up guy that's like, he's some sort of war criminal. He's called like the fucking Butcher of Siberia, and they're like, no, he's actually called the Merchant of Death. It's like, wait, what? Like, yeah, seriously, like, that's what he's called. And it's like, no fucking way. Come on, bro. What the fuck? Like, yes, we might be doing that. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up too much with it, but that's what it's looking like. Jeez. Oh, that's fantastic. It's so fucking stupid. Like, what do you even say to that? Like, honestly, like, what? Yes, let's just trade our favorite WNBA player for like this renowned, I mean, I guess a terrorist. Like, I guess you could call him a terrorist. I don't fucking know. So yeah, shit has been fucking ridiculous. How much weed did she have? I don't know. It seems to be Schrodinger's fucking vape cartridge, because some people say it's a vast amount and other people say none. So I don't know.
Jesus.
Yeah, it is something. Something is happening. Oh, and then did you see so Japan had some wacky shit happen recently where this guy assassinated their former prime minister. And the way he did it is like ridiculous. Like, it is, so Japan has a reputation for being like a country where just everything is weird, and this definitely reinforces that stereotype. So their former prime minister gets assassinated a couple weeks ago, and the way it's done is, I think he's just like walking down the street, or he's doing like some sort of press thing or something. I don't remember what the details were, but some guy comes up behind him and just shoots him in the back. Like, you just blast this guy from behind. And it's like, holy shit. But, like, then you think about it, and you're like, wait a minute, Japan doesn't really have guns, though. Like, in America, that would be like, okay, well, what do you shoot him with? It's like a shotgun. It's like, oh, okay. But Japan doesn't have guns, so how did this guy shoot him? Did he just buy an illegal gun? No. This guy is even more high concept than that. Well, he probably could have just bought one illegally. He instead decided he'll do it himself. Because if you want something done right, you do it yourself. He made his own gun at home.
What the fuck?
He made his own gun. Okay, so it's I guarantee whatever you're imagining when you imagine a homemade gun, it's more ghetto than that. It's more ghetto than what you're imagining. It's like two PVC pipes like welded to a 2x4 powered by like AA batteries. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, right now, look up the gun that this guy used. Like, it's fucking insane. I'll put a picture up on screen for the people listening. It's like just slapped together. Like, it looks like a kid's science fair project. Like, it's made of like wooden planks, and like you can see, like, there's just like a graphics card looking thing. Like, there's just like a computer chip thing on the side of it or something. Like, it looks ridiculous. It's like,
Fuck.
How
did you find the picture?
Hold on, I'll. Okay, so I think you have to Google the guy's name. The prime minister was named Shinzo Abe.
that one.
I'll put it in the chat. Hold on, let's see if I can find an image. Oh my god, holy shit. Yeah, here it is. Okay, hold on.
I gotta see this.
Alright, here you go. Let's see, I don't know if this will show up on... There you go, check that out. I don't know if this should... Okay, yeah, it did. It did show up. Perfect. Yeah, it's this. What the fuck is this thing? It's like made of duct tape.
Which chat? Podcast chat or just...
It's specific to this, the voice channel. So, like, in the top right, there should be a little, like, text, like, speech bubble thing. Click on that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, look at this thing. It's like 2x4s. You can see, like, underneath, like, I'm highlighting it with my mouse. I don't know if my mouse shows up on OBS. But by these, like, red wires, you can see, like, this thing, like, zip tied to the bottom of the barrel. It's like, I think that's where the batteries are. Like, and then the barrel is made of just like a fucking 2x4. Like, it's just a wooden plank and it's all duct taped together. He got shot by this thing. Some fucking guy just came up behind him and blasted him with that.
Captain.
He did. He fucking got killed with this thing. Like, oh my god, what the fuck?
What was the projectile? Was it real bullets? Like, what was...
I think it was probably ball bearings, if I had to guess. I think this was like a shotgun type thing.
Right.
I'll see if I can Google it. Like, what?
What? So he like made a shotgun shell?
Yeah, basically. I mean, yeah, you can sort of make shotgun shells at home. Like, you can sort of make them from scratch, but, like, I mean, he made the rest of the gun from scratch. I assume he could make some bullets, I get. Like, that thing fired. Like, he pulled the trigger and it, like, stuff came out, like, fast. Like, fast enough to kill a guy. Like, I mean, I don't know how healthy the guy was. He was probably pretty old, but, like, it killed him. Like...
Actually insane.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? I don't even know, like, how you would fire this thing, because, like, I'm looking at it now, and I don't really see a trigger. Like, there's no sight, there's no trigger, like, maybe it's just a bad picture of it, but, like, what? Yeah, that's ridiculous, and it's even more weird, because it wasn't even the current prime minister, it was the former prime minister. He wasn't even in office.
The fuck?
Yeah, apparently it was like I've seen two conflicting things on why this guy might have done it, because I don't know if it's come out yet why he did this. I think one group of people said he was gonna endorse a candidate that was gonna be the next prime minister, and that might have like clinched him the election or whatever. Like, it was like, okay, maybe he doesn't want the guy that he's gonna endorse to win. I'm not sure. And then I heard something that's probably, it might be more likely that, like, his mom, like, the guy that assassinated him, like, his mom was really into his fucking campaign or something and wasted, like, all of her money donating to it. Like, completely ruined, like, donated all of their family's money to this guy's, like, campaign or some church he had, like, talked about or something. I can't remember. I'd have to look into it again. But it was something like that, and it was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you couldn't find any other way to go about, like, getting back at this guy. It couldn't be like, maybe I'll run for office. No, I need to build this fucking contraption. Like, this looks like it's almost some sci-fi shit.
It's weird.
Like, Japan's his former prime minister got killed by a gun from Halo. Like, he got taken out by the fucking Needler in real life. Like, look at this fucking thing.
Man, I can't say it's not impressive. That's, like, the craziest part.
Yeah, like, it's so funny to me that it's...
definitely impressed with his ability to just make that.
Yeah, like, you would think, like, if the guy is smart enough to make that, like, couldn't he have just, like, made his money back? Like, couldn't, like, he could have succeeded if he, like, applied himself to something that isn't killing this guy. Like, clearly this guy is, like, smart enough to do, like, engineering, right? Like, he built this fucking thing. Like, I think, like, he could probably be an engineer with that level of, like, technical expertise, right? Like, if he just, like, applied himself, he probably could have done, like, not this. He probably could have succeeded in some way. But no, I guess not. What the fuck?
Super villain shit.
Yeah, it is.
It's, like, always the case. It's like they're fucking geniuses. It's like now you want to blow up the fucking sun instead of, like, getting into Harvard.
Yeah, like, that's the funny thing about supervillains. Like, the rich ones, like the Lex Luthor types, it's like, why are you so salty, bro? It's like, you're a billionaire. Like, why are you so concerned about, like, killing Superman? Like, who cares, bro? You're fucking... You are so loaded, bro. You can just ignore him. Like...
For the Joker, it's definitely a sex thing.
Well, and for the Joker, he's not rich either. Like, the Joker, it's like, he has nothing else better going on. Like, he's just...
Turns him on.
Yeah, like, he's just chasing his nut, for sure. But, like...
I think Lex Luthor, it's a sex thing, too.
Yeah, but, like, you think a guy that rich, like, he could have it without blowing up the entire Earth, right? Like...
Right, but I'm sure he's tried all that stuff already.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's it. Like, he's so desensitized to it all.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gone even further than, like, the craziest sex pests.
Yes.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's part of his backstory. Or do you think it's just, like, he's mad because, like, no matter how much money he spends, he can't get his hair back. He's just, like, permanently bald. I think that's it. I think it's, like, no matter what, like, no matter how much money he buys, he won't get his hair back. Like,
plugs.
I mean, hair plugs don't really look good, though.
No, they don't.
That's why he hates Superman. Superman still has all his hair.
He does.
He's like, dude, look at Superman's fucking sick haircut. Look at the fresh cut that Superman's flying around with. And meanwhile, I have billions of dollars and I can't do shit about my hair. I have to buy a hat. Like, meanwhile, Superman works as a fucking journalist. He doesn't have billions of dollars. And yet, he lives in like Antarctica in a crystal house. How the fuck does that work? How does he afford that?
You know, I never really thought about that.
Yeah, like...
How does he protect that one city?
I mean, he's just really fast, I guess. I guess he just goes from Antarctica to Metropolis, like, really fast.
How does he know when shit's up, though?
Because he just hears really well. Like, he just hears the crime.
I don't know. Only helps that one city, though? It's kind of a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is kind of... Well, I mean, yeah, it's like, I guess Superman is just, like, really... He's just, like, a die-hard sports fan for whatever team Metropolis has. Where he's like...
I guess so.
He's like, I'll just protect this city. Fuck all the other cities. Lex Luthor is like, I'm going to blow up the entire Earth. And Superman's like, Metropolis is located on Earth. Therefore, I will not allow you. Like, if you blow up all of the Earth except that, then, like, cool, go for it, bro. You do you. Like, go for it, bro. That's fine.
There.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck yeah.
Well, he just wants to bone, too, because that's just where Lois Lane lives.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, and fucking the whole Injustice comics, he turns evil because his girlfriend died.
Right.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole point. Is the Joker killed Lois Lane, so then Superman, rather than just getting even and fucking Harley Quinn, like,
slaughters people.
Yeah, he just punches a hole in the Joker's chest and then turns evil. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Is Superman, like, the most powerful simp ever?
Yeah.
Like, Superman could have, like, any woman, though, couldn't he? Like, he's the ultimate chat. Like, have you seen that guy's jawline? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he has a sweet house. He's super strong. He has that awesome hair. He's got the crazy jawline. Like, dude, this guy could be fucking nonstop.
Yeah.
And yet he picks, like, only Lois Lane for some reason. And then she dies, and he's like, well, fuck it. All right, time to blow up the whole Earth. Lex Luthor was right. I'm going to kill him too, though. Like... I don't know, man. Comic superheroes are so funny because like they're just now starting to beat that whole genre to fucking death. Where they're just like, oh wait, it turns out the gold rush is over. Like the gold rush of just make a superhero movie and slap DC or Marvel on it to make money is over
Yeah, it really is. I saw, what did I just see? Doctor Strange 2. Well, I saw it a while ago whenever it came out. But I gotta say, like, that's when I realized, like, even Marvel,
now. Yeah.
like, I was never a Marvel fan, aside from, like, a few movies.
Yeah.
But, I would still go and see every new movie because, you know, like, it's entertaining enough to
Well,
sit
yeah,
down
and it's
and.
like, it's the thing to do.
Right, yeah. But, I went and I saw that movie, and it was just shit. I remember sitting there the whole time. It was just like terrible writing. It was like every character was unlikable. And it's like there's nothing even enjoyable about it. It's just
Mm.
like they're just pumping them out for no reason at this point.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're just like, well, listen, you just put Marvel on it and it makes money. And then Sony had to find out the hard way that that's not how that works. I don't remember if I talked about it in the last episode, but it was funny to me that it's kind of a dead meme at this point. But the whole Morbius thing, like, it's even funnier
The
considering
second
like,
release.
yeah, how they brought it back out for another weekend and it made no fucking money. And then the same people that were memeing on Morbius that basically fooled Sony into releasing the movie again
Started
didn't.
another mission.
Yeah, well, basically they didn't see that movie. Like, it came back to theaters and no one went and watched it, right? Like, Morbius comes out and no one watches it, and then it leaves theaters, and then people start making a bunch of memes about how it's the greatest movie ever, and it made $1 more billion, and then they go, "Oh, clearly people just now they want to see it. It was just some kind of fluke that everyone was busy that weekend. Like, we'll just release it again." So then they put it out again, and then again no one goes and sees it, and they lose a bunch of money, and then it leaves theaters again, and then this same group of people that meme the shit out of that the next week, literally 1 week later, go out in mass to go watch fucking Rise of Gru. They go watch the new Minions movie. They dress up in fucking suit and tie and go in droves to go watch that movie instead.
I did that.
Yeah.
I went out in a blazer, a tie, rough shoes and everything, man.
Exactly. It was like, well, people went and watched that fucking movie. Like, okay, wait. So people will go out to go watch Minions: Rise of Gru, and they'll go watch Sonic 2, but they won't go watch Morbius.
All right, I will tell you, or I was gonna say I'll tell you one thing, but this is actually a series of related things.
Hit me.
But okay, so Lightyear.
Yeah.
Right. So I saw that trailer back in September, and I'm like, that actually looks kind of sick.
Okay.
And half of it was just that they played my favorite song of all time in the trailer. But
Which song is it?
I also the animation, the song.
Yeah.
It's Starman by David Bowie.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I forgot what song they put in there. Okay.
And the animation looked. I mean, aside from him, he looked like Joe Swanson, but
He
the
did
animation
a little bit, yeah.
and stuff looked really fucking good.
Yeah.
So I was like, I do want to see that in theaters. That sounds like it would be cool to see in theaters. So I went and I saw it on opening night.
Okay.
And it was just like dog shit movie. like just Pixar has fell from grace, and we
yeah.
have known this for a while, but they just keep getting worse with every movie. And it was just bad. It was a terrible movie. Like, Chris Evans is not a voice actor. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. They just wanted his name on the poster.
Yeah.
But
wait, no, you know what I think it is? I think it's they did it. They cast Chris Evans in that movie the same way that they cast voice actors for the old Shenmue games when they had to English dub them. So I think they just went, Buzz Lightyear looks hilarious. Like, he kind of looks like the Giga Chad meme, like where his chin is impossibly chiseled.
Yes.
So they went, okay, clearly the best part of casting a voice actor is the voice actor has to look like the character. It's just, it's all physical appearance. It doesn't matter if he doesn't have the right personality, or if he doesn't sound right, or if he can't voice act for shit. So long as he looks like the character he's voicing. That's what Shenmue did. I think there were some games that came out a while ago. They were made in Japan. They're called Shenmue, and they had to do like a dub for, I think, English release. So they just hired a bunch of voice actors that look like the characters. Like, that was their hiring criteria for voice actors, was just that you look like the character.
God.
So I think they took notes from that guy, whoever he was. I forget his name, but yeah, they said, listen, it was so good in Shenmue. It's not like that one has notoriously bad voice acting. Get Chris Evans, do it.
God. So, do you know anything about like what the movie turned out to be?
No, I have no idea. I saw the funny trailer, and that was about it.
Then I gotta give you the rundown because it's fucking nuts.
Do it.
So, like stupid nuts, not like, wow, that was impressive nuts.
Oh.
So the way they marketed this movie was they're like, okay, like they realized pretty quickly on that people were confused after seeing the initial trailer. Like, what do you mean this is Buzz Lightyear? He's a toy, all that.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, all right, just to make this clear, in Toy Story, in the first Toy Story, they mentioned that the Buzz Lightyear toy is based on a character from a famous kids movie. Yeah. Like a made-up famous kids movie.
Yeah.
Right. So in the marketing campaign, they made it very clear early on. They're like, this is the movie.
Yeah. Basically, they're showing you the movie that exists in the Toy Story universe that the action figure is based on. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
I get that. Okay, that makes sense.
So, Toy Story takes place in the 90s, right?
Okay.
So you're thinking 90s kids movie.
Is Buzz Lightyear gonna stop 9/11?
Yes.
Okay,
Buzz Lightyear stopped 9/11.
Okay, good, because as it was established a few episodes ago, every movie must acknowledge 9/11 somehow. And if this happens in the 90s, both towers are still standing. I want to see them in all of their fucking glory still, okay?
Yeah.
The plane isn't flying, it's just falling with style.
Right. All right. So that actually is a perfect segue because...
Oh, nice.
We were like, what we're really hoping for, we're like, okay, we know modern Pixar sucks. Like, this could be really bad. But the animation looks cool. It supposedly has a cool soundtrack, which was a lie. There is no Bowie soundtrack. They just played that in the trailer.
Okay.
But we're like, at the very least, what we want is Toy Story callbacks.
Yeah.
Like this could just be like a fun nostalgia movie. Like they're trying to make it seem like a 90s kids movie, so it's just gonna be like this very fun, over the top, ridiculous kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, so in Toy Story they have like established Buzz Lightyear characters because there's like a toy line.
Yeah.
Right? So there's like the Zurg action figure is the bad guy from the movie.
Yeah, he's like the Overlord or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, he's the purple guy.
Yeah.
And they do like the Star Wars spoof where
and he's like Buzz, I am your father. Yeah, he does the Star Wars.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So we're like they got to do all that stuff because they have established like some sort of
there's a little bit of canon, yeah.
So they don't.
Oh.
Right? So all right, so to make things even worse, the movie starts with just black screen white text saying, just flat out saying in writing, like, Andy from Toy Story went and saw this movie in 1995. Like, that's what this movie is.
Okay.
That's the first scene of the movie, opening scene of the movie, is that text across the screen.
Got it.
And I'm like, first of all, Cap. Because first 10 minutes of the movie, there is an interracial lesbian kiss.
What the fuck? Okay.
Like, I mean, so first of all, this was not a kids movie from 1995. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, bro. Everyone knows that in 1995, all the rage, you would go and see a Pixar movie for the interracial lesbians full penetration fucking each other with strap-ons. That's what I go to see in 1995. Fucking 6 years before I was born. That's what I was doing. That was all the rage, dude.
That's what I was doing when I was in my dad's balls. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Same. That was what I was doing before I was conceived as well. Was watching fucking full penetration between the fucking cowgirl and Bo Peep, where they're just scissoring.
God. So they do that, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I don't even care about it for political reasons. Like, I don't give a shit.
Who cares?
Obviously, but I care that you're saying this is supposed to be like a kids movie from the '90s, and like you're already like.
They are historically revising the '90s.
Yes. And first of all, no Toy Story callbacks. Not a single one. We're like, okay, they have to at the very least say the line, "That's not falling, that's falling with style." Right, like the entire movie, we're like,
you're waiting for that. Yeah,
could have thrown it in there. Like at the very least, the phrase "falling with style."
Yeah,
they could have worked it in there so many times and they didn't. Like there's one scene where he uses the jetpack with the wings and shit, and we're like, oh, they could fucking say it.
Okay, say it now. Yeah,
and then he activates it, and we're like, say it. Somebody has to fucking say "falling with style," and no, nobody ever says it. And voice acting is terrible. It's such a stupid movie, and it's not even like it doesn't have like over the top '90s vibes, right? They tried to make it like dark and serious and like, all right. So
dark,
basically, what
serious, gay, just like the '90s.
Right, exactly. They basically made Interstellar with Joe Swanson, but for like maybe 20 minutes of screen time, Joe Swanson is wearing a Buzz.
Oh, sick!
He spends most of the movie in just like normal clothes.
What the fuck? Why? What the fuck?
And
bro,
then,
I can't wait for the spinoff where it's Woody and it's terrible fucking animation Tom Hanks, but he's not dressed as a cowboy for 95% of the movie. He's just dressed like Tom Hanks.
God.
It's like, I want to see him do cowboy things. It's fucking Sheriff Woody, bro. If there's not a snake in his boot, so help me God.
Walk up, punch the fucking screen. No.
I will riot in the theater, okay?
I bring my Molotov cocktail just in case.
I will, dude. I will fucking start a ruckus, okay? It will not be good. Okay, so the Lightyear movie, if he doesn't say "falling with style," there is one thing. There is only one phrase more iconic that Buzz Lightyear says that they need to have put in that movie.
What is that?
It's, yes, the floor here is made of floor.
No.
The floor is made of floor. It's, dude, it was
you know what?
It was so moving when he said that.
The word you're searching for is Space Ranger, like that.
Yeah.
That's so easy to put in that movie, and they didn't.
Space Ranger. Yeah, it should have been that. It should have been. I mean, honestly, it should have been the floor is made of floor. It should have been the end of the movie, the big climactic 30 all men interracial orgy happening, and Buzz Lightyear is standing there amongst all of it, and he's stepping over piles of people fucking, and he's just like, the floor here is made of floor. And that's the movie. That's how it ends.
Oh my God. So speaking of the big climactic ending, the one callback we were waiting for the entire time, and we're like, well, obviously they have to do this one, is that Zurg is Buzz Lightyear's dad.
Yeah.
It's a Star Wars spoof.
Yeah.
And Zurg is in the movie. He wasn't in the trailer, so I was like, are they doing something else? No. They put the character Zurg in the movie.
Okay.
Right? But it's a robot. It's not like a person in a suit.
Oh, so yeah, a robot can't have a kid then.
So we're like, okay, well, how are they going to do the twist? Then at the end of the movie, it's the final fight with Zurg,
Buzz Lightyear's a robot.
No, the chest cavity opens up. It's a mech suit.
Oh, okay.
And an old man that looks exactly like Buzz Lightyear walks out.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And we're like, oh, okay, holy shit, they did one thing right in this entire movie. It's his dad. No.
No.
It's him from an alternate timeline.
What the fuck?
In the future. It's him
yes.
from the future and it is the same sized Joe Swanson head with gray hair on like a really skinny, decrepit old man body. And the worst part, okay, well, obviously the best part because it was funny as fuck, but the most ridiculous part, he's voiced by Josh Brolin.
Oh my fucking Thanos.
He's voiced by fucking Cable from Deadpool and Thanos.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So
Oh my god.
it's just, oh my god. And they even felt the need to explain why they call him Zurg.
I mean, that's really
because
the origin story.
Army of robots that he built when he turned evil, his army of robots, couldn't say the word buzz, so they said Zurg.
Oh, he's not just a big StarCraft fan?
No. It's
like,
just robots can't talk right.
He has one strategy, and it's just always Zerg Rush, and he was like, I need to name these robots. I got it! I wonder what StarCraft faction he likes. It's definitely not the humans.
Anyway, that was a long segue, but my point is, Lightyear, shitty movie, no callbacks, piece of shit. I have a friend who, he's the guy I was talking about earlier, the guy from India. And we've been to a few movies, like in theaters, since I've been here.
Okay.
And actually a lot. And every time we go, every time we've seen the Minions trailer during one of those movies, every time without fail, he cracks the fuck up.
Nice.
At every joke in the trailer. He just finds the Minions hilarious. So his birthday was in June, and we're like, all right, we got to take him to see the fucking Minions movie. So we bought him the tickets, and then the next week when it came out, we all dressed up in the suits and ties, and we went. And I gotta say, it was a good movie.
Okay. How good was it?
A legitimately, I mean, like, it was stupid as fuck, but it was funny.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I did. My one goal was like, don't laugh out loud. Don't you fucking dare laugh.
Yeah.
At the movie, there was at least 3 times where I couldn't help it. But my point is, they did what they should have done as like a fucking 5th or whatever sequel, right? Some weird spin-off sequel type thing, right? Lightyear was some weird spin-off sequel, prequel, whatever the fuck. And there was like not one callback to the source material, because like that's why you're seeing it. Obviously, it's because you grew up with Toy Story.
Yeah, exactly. You saw Toy Story and you loved Buzz Lightyear, and you're like, oh wait, now I can see what Andy saw that made him buy the Buzz Lightyear. Why did the toy store have that entire wall of Buzz Lightyears? Okay. What was that based off of? Oh, it's based off of this movie that I get to go actually watch? That's sick.
Exactly. It's the whole nostalgia kick thing, and it reminds you of the source material. So this one, obviously Despicable Me is not nearly as big as Toy Story, but that movie still came out in what, like 2010? So we were like, I think I watched it with you, didn't I? At your house when we were younger?
Toy Story, probably.
No, Despicable Me.
Oh, Despicable Me, maybe. I don't know.
Because we were like 8 when that came out. So we were like 4th grade, 5th grade. I don't fucking know. But it came out like 2010 through 2012, somewhere in that era.
Yeah, and, we were like 10. We were like 9 or 10.
So it was still like part of my childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was still part of my childhood.
Yeah.
And this movie is all callbacks. It's all just like, hey, remember the original Despicable Me, guys? Hey, remember that movie? And we're like, yeah, I remember that movie. I remember that. That's cool. And
nice.
It was a lot more enjoyable.
Sweet.
And then it was really something.
You know what? I saw a movie before. It's old news at this point, but it was like surprisingly not terrible. The fucking Top Gun reboot. I've
heard great things about it.
I hate
the original.
It was fun. Okay, so you've seen the original? Okay, it's very much like the original. What do you not like about the original?
It's okay, so the genre of the original is just 80s.
Yes, it's fucking.
I hate that.
It's Tom Cruise.
It's just
like
80s. It's shirtless Tom Cruise playing volleyball on the beach.
Yeah.
That's like 50% of the movie.
Yeah, so like here's the thing. I remember seeing Top Gun when I was like a lot younger, but I didn't really remember much about it. So we were gonna go see it one night, and I decided to watch the first one again just so I knew what the fuck was going on. And it was like fine. I thought it's fun. You just need to like treat it in the right manner. Like, you know, you can have fun with it. It's just don't take it too seriously. Like just treat it as like 80s ridiculousness.
Right.
And if you go into this movie with the same attitude, you'll have fun with it. Like, it is a bunch of callbacks. The movie opens with Danger Zone playing over scenes of jets taking off from a fucking aircraft carrier. Like, that was really cool. I'm glad they did that. Except it doesn't take place in the 80s, so it's more modern. Like, Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise still. So he's old now. And that's like the plot is that like Maverick from Top Gun is like old now.
Okay.
So they're like, yeah, he's old now.
So it takes this like present day.
Yeah, it's basically present day where he's training like the next class of like fighter pilots, and the whole sort of premise is that like, oh well, they actually don't really have the tools to teach people to fly fighter pilots because most of it is drones now. Most of it is fucking remote control, so they don't really teach people to fly like that anymore. But they can't use drones for this one specific mission for some reason I don't remember. So we're gonna need pilots, but all of our pilots suck because they're only used to flying drones. So we need to go get an old guy from back in the day that knows how to fly a plane analog. So let's go get Tom Cruise because he's still around. And like it was all right. They did the beach volleyball thing again too. They weren't playing volleyball, but they did have a scene in the middle of the movie where, completely dropping all pretense, the whole class is like hanging out on the beach, and like a bunch of the dudes are shirtless and they're playing football. They're playing beach football, except now there's girls involved, so like the scene sucks, but it's like freaking ew. Like they're girls on the beach in their bikinis playing football? No thanks. I came to see shirtless men play volleyball, but okay. And they have Val Kilmer in it, which was crazy. Like that they put him in the movie and like actually acknowledge that like they wrote. Okay, so Val Kilmer, he was Iceman in the first movie. He's the blonde dude that was like Tom Cruise's rival. But then, spoiler for Top Gun, but then fucking Goose, his wingman, dies, and then he ends up teaming up with Iceman, and then they're like friends. Well, Val Kilmer in real life between these movies gets throat cancer, and like he can't really act, and like his voice is all fucked up now. But they write that into the movie.
What the fuck?
So like Tom Cruise, it's looking bad, right? It's looking like he's not going to be able to train these guys in time. It's looking like he's going to like lose his job and he's not going to be able to succeed on the mission. So then he goes and talks to Val Kilmer, who he goes to like Val Kilmer's house and he meets like some assistant or something that works for him. And she's like, oh yeah, ever since like the throat cancer, he doesn't really talk so well. So, you know, don't make him talk too much. And he's like, oh, okay. So then he goes in and like Val Kilmer starts by like, he has like this Stephen Hawking fucking setup where like he types something out on the computer and then shows it to him. And then it's like supposed to be really emotional because you're like, oh my God, this guy is actually fucked up. And then he talks for like a little bit, like maybe 2 minutes at like the end of the scene when it's supposed to be like really emotional. I was like, there is no fucking way they put this in the movie. What the fuck? But I mean, I thought like, you know, if they had to handle it anyway, like I think they would have just written him out, but they didn't, which is like, okay. I mean, I wouldn't have done that, but I think they did it all right. Like I think they were respectful and everything. But like, if you want the perfect way to describe the tone of the movie, so Goose, right, in the original Top Gun, he dies, but before he dies, him and Maverick are best friends. Well, they hang out, and like you see Goose's family. He has like a wife and like 2 kids, right? The son from that movie is grown up, and now he's in the class that Tom Cruise is teaching. So it's that guy is Goose. It's his son that he's teaching in the class to be like a fighter pilot. And if you want the perfect way to know this movie, his dad was Goose, so the kid, his code name is Rooster.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really all you need to know. And he has the goofy 80s mustache. Like he has the same mustache that like Goose did in the movie. But it's modern day, so it's like no one has a mustache like that anymore, bro. Like it's weird. It's really fucking weird. They're like, it's Goose's son, and it's like he doesn't look like him at all, except he has the same mustache. Like he got the mustache from his dad's side. Yeah, it was ridiculous, but it was fine. Like it wasn't like the greatest shit I've ever seen. It wasn't like amazing, but it was like serviceable as a movie. It was like not hilariously bad. It's just you need to go into it expecting like, okay, same thing as Top Gun, same deal, where it's like it's gonna make all the callbacks. It's gonna have Danger Zone. It's gonna have the beach volleyball. It's gonna have them flying. The special effects are way better. They're gonna be fighting some sort of enemy nation, but they never tell you what army it is they're fighting. Same as the first one, where they're like, yeah, you need to fight these guys, and like they don't tell you what nation they're at war with. It's just like generic bad guys, which I thought was really funny because they did that in this movie.
Are they Eastern European? It's always either Eastern European or like unnamed Asian country.
They didn't specify because whenever they showed them, I think it showed white guys if you could see the skin, but they were almost always in giant flight suits that covered basically everything, so you can't really tell.
Okay.
And so it's like, oh, okay, sick. Well, yeah, I mean, so, not a bad movie. I was expecting it to be way worse. Like, I walked out of it and I was like, okay, so that was ridiculous and it was really funny. And a lot of the times I was laughing at the movie, not with the movie, but it was like not bad.
Okay.
But there is a movie that I am fucking hyped for. When are we getting One Piece Film Red? When are we getting it? I'm dying to see it. There's another One Piece movie coming out eventually. It's called Film Red.
Yeah.
It's looking like it'll be good. I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna watch it eventually. I still have to watch basically all the One Piece movies because I haven't seen them yet. I just generally know some things about them. Like I have to watch Strong World, I have to watch Stampede, I have to watch Film Gold. But there was one thing I wanted to address because the guy that writes One Piece said some shit that
have you seen
have I seen what's up?
Have you seen any of the fucking Futurama movies?
No, I haven't seen them.
They have like 4 of them, I think. I think there's 4 of them.
I didn't know there were any Futurama movies.
Yeah, so you know how it was canceled like twice?
Yeah.
So, when it was canceled, they just released... So, Season 5, it was canceled after Season 5 for the second time. And, there is a 6th season of Futurama.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's 10 total. But
yeah.
Season 6, they call it Season 6, is just 4 direct-to-DVD movies.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And then when it came back, they called it Season 7. They're like, oh, the movies are Season 6, fuck it.
6 seasons in a movie, ha 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 ha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are there really 6 seasons of Community, though? Because Season 6 was a revival already, and it sucked.
Oh, I don't know. I never watched the end of it.
I stopped like halfway through Season 5. It was really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Early Community was great, though. Freaking,
it was.
So
honestly, I hated the first season. I think like 2 through 4.
2 through 4 was really good. Yeah, 1 was like fine, but it hadn't found its.
It was standard.
Yeah, Season 1 hadn't found its fucking stride yet, but like Season 2, when it starts getting more ridiculous and they start doing like paintball and fucking.
Oh, the paintball episode.
Fucking LT great, like, oh, dude, the paintball episode where he's like, Abed's like, we're doing Star Wars, so I'm gonna call Han Solo before Jeff naturally slides into the role.
We did shit. They did at the end of Season 1, they were like, they set up like the love triangle.
Yeah.
between like him and like one of the teachers and what's her nuts, the blonde girl.
Yeah, Britta.
And I forget everybody's name. I haven't watched that show in a while.
Yeah.
Except for fucking Troy and Abed, of course.
Troy Abed, Jeff, Britta,
Jeff, what
Annie, yeah, and then
Charlie.
whatever fucking.
What was Chevy Chase?
I had this conversation with someone.
Pierce.
Fuck. Pierce. Yeah, it was Pierce Hawthorne.
Yeah.
And then whoever fucking what's her name? The fucking Helen from Drake and Josh played. I don't remember her name. Shirley. Okay.
Yeah. But the end of season 1, they set up that love triangle, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be like one of these shows. It's annoying as fuck. And then I think it was like the first episode of season 2. You know, Abed always made like the kind of fourth wall breaky jokes because his whole character was just obsessed with TV and he thinks life is a TV show or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like, he's like, last semester we got too much into fucking romance and shit. I think this semester we should just, focus on the day-to-day shenanigans.
Yeah.
And then from that point on,
and then they did, and it was good. It was just like funny the whole fucking time. Yeah.
And they do that episode 1, episode 2 of the second season is like the one where they're in his office with the lawyers and they're like chloroforming the janitor like 50 times.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, great show for like seasons 2 through 4. Great.
Yeah.
So there was something I wanted to say about the guy that writes One Piece. He's a fucking insane man. Like, he said some shit that has people absolutely losing their mind like a few weeks ago. Like, people, he got interviewed and people heard and read what he said and thought that he basically said that all of One Piece is filler. That's like an interpretation that people had. It's fucking crazy. That's not what he was saying.
I think not filler yet. Well, no, the early ones aren't really filler. They're just like slow moving.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's all canon.
I never got past like the first.
There's a few filler episodes like here and there, but on the whole, it's almost all canon. But
I never got past Sanji.
Yeah, it really picks up after Sanji, to be honest. So here's the thing, though, right? I think you're about to get the perfect jumping in point. So I think at this point, the manga has just about finished the Wano Kuni arc. So they're going to be leaving Wano. And I think it was on brief hiatus where basically he said, listen, I need a few weeks or like a month or however long to basically make sure I have everything perfect for the ending. Because it's like about to end.
Jesus.
And he's doing an interview and he says this. Quote, back when I was a kid, there was a certain vision I had in mind. I want to draw a manga where the finale is its highest peak. I wonder if I could pull that off. Now then, for just a little more, the Wano Country saga will be wrapping up. After a long time, the preparations are finally done. Only took 25 years. Though even if you read from here on, it's totally okay. After all, from here on, we are getting to the One Piece. I'll be drawing every single secret in this world I've been hiding up until now. It'll be fun. Please fasten your seatbelts. I look forward to it. So he basically said, okay, they've left Wano. The prologue is over.
The prologue?
Yeah, he was like, all right, now we're getting into the actual shit. He's like, all right, listen, that was all just set up. He goes, listen, if you want, you can start reading right now. That's fine, because this is about to be the best shit in the whole series. Like... He's like, it only took me 25 years of setup, but I'm finally here. Now I can say, listen, if you don't want to have to watch or read 1,000 episodes, that's fine. Start now. Start right now. Because this is what it's all about. Like, that's fucking crazy that he said that. Like, what? So people were like, wait, does that just mean all of this has been filler? And he's like, well, no, it's not filler because it's canon. But it's like setup. Like, it's backstory.
So how much longer is he actually planning on doing this?
Not much longer. It's like almost over. It's almost over, but he's basically saying, listen, if One Piece is too long, like if that's what's stopping you, pick up here.
Start here.
Start here. He's like, skip all of it. All of it was backstory. Start now. Right? Like, fucking chapter 1025. Start on that. If you really can't stomach reading 1,000 chapters, start on 1025. Like, holy shit. That's fucking crazy. He was like, listen, all of the coolest shit is about to happen right now. So, like, it's fine. Just get in now. Like, if you had to pick a time, now is the time to get in on it.
Jump in.
Yeah, I mean, now is the time to jump in, dude. The author said that. It's not even like, all right, listen, you can skip this season or you can do. No, it's like the author was like, listen, if you don't want to have to deal with all of One Piece, that's fine. Start now. Like, oh my god, that's fucking crazy. Like, I'm sure you'll be completely lost, but like, it should be fucking wild. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. It's probably only going to go for another few years, like, depending on how many breaks he takes on the way. But dude, I'm fucking hyped for it. I'm almost caught up too. I think I've got like 50 something episodes to go, and then I'm there. So I'm so fucking hyped for that. I'm gonna watch Film Red. It's gonna be awesome.
When's the movie coming out?
I don't remember. I'll see if I don't even know if they announced it. I'll check. Let's see. One Piece Film Red. Oh yeah, and that one, it seems like it might be really crazy because like even all the way up until the arc that he just finished that I'm on, like we still basically know nothing about Shanks, like as a person. Like we know very little about him. But this next one coming up is called Film Red, so like maybe he's in it significantly. I'm not sure.
Is he the one who gave him the hat?
Yes. Well, yeah, because he has red hair, so that's maybe why it's called Film Red. I'm not sure.
Right.
Oh, okay, it's looking like now. No. Oh wait, it might already be out. Oh, it released in Japan already, but it's probably not out in the US. Release date was August 6th, 2022, so it dropped like a week ago.
Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, and then one came out. Stampede came out in 2019. God damn, that happened quick. I remember when that movie was like the one that everyone was like, "Holy shit, bro, this thing about to be wild." Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Oh, apparently it did well when it came out. Awesome. Yeah, so that I just found that interesting because I was scrolling TikTok at one point and people were like, "Dude, did you see that shit that he just said? All of One Piece's filler." And I was like, "No way he said that." I was like, "There's no shot." And it's like, okay, he didn't quite say that, but he said like adjacent to that. Like he said like if you can't bear to watch the backstory, treat it like filler and skip it. And it's like, oh my fucking god. That's insane. So that's where I'm at. I'm still waiting for Stone Ocean to fucking come out because it won't come out until like December or some shit. It's not coming out. Oh no, I don't think it comes out until like October. So, yay! Thanks, David Production. Very cool. Very cool of you to completely fuck Stone Ocean like that. It's not like this was its chance to like have everyone love it. Because like, it's not like the anime adaptation has saved any other parts except part 5 that it just did that for, where people didn't really like it, and then the anime came out and people fucking love that one. It's like some people's favorite part now. Nah, sick. I'm sure you'll do great on part 7, which is like everyone's favorite. I'm sure that one will be great. I'm sure you'll do that one justice. I don't know, man. All right, I think we've been going for a while now. Yeah, we're good. We can go like an hour 40. We can wrap up if you like.
All right.
Yeah, this has been episode 39. Thanks everyone for watching. Summer is damn near over at this point, so I should be able to record more. I think I'm going to change the way I schedule this. I think I'm going to be more down to just do it solo, so I can make sure I keep up with the schedule, like just trying to upload more, because honestly I think that's what's handicapping me the most right now, is that like I barely ever upload. It's like want to upload every like month or two. So fuck it, I'll start doing more solo episodes. I'll just like pick a time and then just like hit the group chat or the Discord or whatever and just be like, hey guys, I'm recording, and if anyone is free at this time, record. If not, whatever. I think that's how I'll do it from now on. I'm not sure.
Cool.
But hopefully that fixes it, because I don't know what the fuck will if that doesn't. So thanks everyone for watching. Come back next time. See you then.